The National Civil Service Agency, or as we know BKN, ensures that the government will no longer open the teacher admission route through CPNS. Because for CPNS, after they have served 4 to 5 years, they usually want to move locations. That destroys the national teacher distribution system. That is what underlies the government to change the teacher recruitment system. We agreed that the teacher would switch to PPPK, not CPNS anymore. In the future, we will not accept teachers with CPNS status, but government employees with a work agreement, said Bima. All will become government employees with a work agreement, so there is no need to bother moving from PPPK to PNS, he said. Nadiem emphasized that regarding salaries, teachers will be appointed as PPPK will be guaranteed by the central government whose funds come from the state budget. According to Nadiem, this step is one of the government's efforts to provide decent welfare for teachers.
The government has stopped the recruitment of civil servants for teachers. What are your thoughts on this?
As a teacher, I absolutely disagree with this new regulation. I think that this regulation is created in a sudden, without involving teachers as the practitioner in this field, and in my opinion, it really disadvantages teachers, because I believe that this has a lot of weakness.
So, do you think teachers should not be included as a civil servant?
Absolutely not. I absolutely think that teachers should be involved or should be categorized as civil servants. The reason is, let's say that if you only put the teachers aside from the systems, civil servant systems, and make them to be PPPK, first, it will cause professional teachers to move from public school into private school, because private school will provide them more benefits than public school do. So that's it.
So what is the example of the benefits that you were talking about?
The benefit is, let us be honest, that the benefit here refers to the income, the salary. Let's say that in a private company, they will give you a lot of benefits like absolutely high income or high salary. Besides that, in private company, there are a lot of, let's say, practices, teacher trainings, teachers programs that can give a lot of benefits to the teachers. While in a public school, I am a teacher in a public school, there is very limited teaching program, teaching training, any other activities that specifically prepared for teachers. So I think private schools do more trainings to the teachers than public school do.
So you are a teacher, right? So as a teacher, how do you feel about this? I mean, these statements that the government is making.
Okay, in the beginning I had said that I disagree. It should be discussed first with teachers union. I don't know how it is called internationally, but I believe that I can say PGRI. I can call PGRI as teachers union. So the government must invite the representation of teachers unions and have a discussion with them before they let's say make this act or regulation.
Okay. Do you think that this movement? I mean, the government has a problem that we finally make this decision. So the government thinks that this is the solution of the problem in teaching profession, or do you think this will solve the problems?
Yes, that will solve that problems, but it will make new problems. The new problem is that being PPPK and being teachers in private school are now, I think, the same. Let's say that the government can provide a salary like 2.5 millions for teachers, PPPK teachers, but there are a lot of private schools that can offer them more salary than the government. So I think professional teachers will move away from the public school. I think that will create the gap between public service. Between the quality of public school and the private school. It will create the gap, and we know that private school will be much better than public school. I think that's it.
What do you think should the governments do?
I agree with the previous regulation that says teachers under 35 years old can apply for civil servant, and the teachers who are older than 35 can apply for PPPK. So we can distinguish between these two categories. Below 35, you can apply for civil servant. More than 35 years old, you can apply for PPPK. I think that will solve the problem.
Okay. Do you have any message for those who are still learning in bachelor in the university for the teaching professions? Do you have any message for them?
Okay. My message is that if you really want to be a teacher, make sure that after you graduate, the government has a program that can allow you to get your certificate, teaching certificate. Make sure that you get that one first after you graduate, instead going to a master degree, pursuing master degree. Why? Because that certificate will help you to be civil servant first. Second, it will certify you to be a professional teacher in Indonesia, and the government will value you better than teachers who don't have certificate. That is the first thing I suggest you to do. Second, join a lot of teaching training. There are a lot of teaching trainings that are available, and make sure that you work while you are studying. Don't work after you graduate. Work while you are still studying in the university. Why? Because it will provide you a lot of experience, and it will be easier for you to get new jobs, teaching jobs, if you are professional and have a lot of experience.
Okay, thank you so much. I am Muhammad Arifin, reporting live in Ketapang.